It's a nice day in New York where I am right now, and we have this nice weather. Actually, now it's clearing up a little bit, the cloud, and as you can see here, not too bad, not too bad. Sitting here talking to you guys, giving you some very important updates. Okay, so what is happening? U.S. Intel chiefs, not one person, but a lot of them, they have warned, who they warned, us, people like you and me, that Putin, he is expanding his nuclear weapons arsenal as the war in Ukraine drags on. Okay, so let's take a look at what they have to say. Washington. So, Russian President Vladimir Putin is likely to further upgrade the Kremlin's arsenal of long-range nuclear-capable missiles in order to in order to deter Kyiv and its powerful Western allies, U.S. officials warned on Wednesday. Now, the warning from the nation's top spy masters comes as Russia intensifies its year-long fight in Ukraine as Putin threatens to withdraw from a key nuclear arms treaty. So when Putin withdrew from the treaty, it was something of a big shock for the U.S. They did not want that to happen. There are many reasons for that. Why? Number one, because if you are in a treaty, then you will have to let U.S. know, means Russia, how many weapons, nuclear warheads they have. At the same time, U.S. would have to do the same thing. But U.S. would not mind if they have to share their information with Russia, because of course U.S. has many other weapons that Russia, they don't have. And the same goes for Russia. They have many weapons U.S. they don't have. But of course U.S. has upper hand in terms of who has more destructive weapon. So Putin, he said, I'm not going to be in this treaty anymore. Means I'm not going to be sharing with you any of my nukes anymore with you. And US was worried because they were like, why they're doing this all of a sudden? Why Putin is doing this? And now we know this warning coming from this chief, okay, these chiefs confirming our fear. And that is that Putin would not care and would not mind to make his nuclear weapon arsenals much bigger and use them. We have seen how Putin is transporting some of the tactical nuclear weapons. They have already done that to Belarus. Belarusian government, Lukakovich, I think his name, he already is waiting for Putin's order in order to launch a tactical nuclear weapon on whoever. Literally whoever. I mean, this guy is Lukashenko, his name, I remember now. He doesn't care. He would do whatever it takes, whatever Putin will tell him. He is a very loyal puppet to Putin. Throughout its invasion of Ukraine, Moscow has continued to show that it views its nuclear capabilities as necessary for maintaining deterrence and achieving its goals in potential conflict against the US and NATO, and it sees its nuclear weapons arsenal as the ultimate guarantor of the Russian Federation. End quote. Of course, this means that, I mean, for Russia, it is really not about making more weapons, increasing the production of this missile, that missile. For Russia, it is just one thing and one thing only, and that is the nuclear bomb. Forget about everything else. The Kinsel missile they used a few days ago in Ukraine. I want to talk more about this because this news is very interesting and important. A few days ago, according to unofficial news, obviously this news would not come from US government or even the media. It came from people who are not associated with a professional or mainstream media outlet. They have investigated a recent attack in Ukraine, and they said Kinsel missile was used for the first time at a magnitude that was never seen before. Putin, he ordered his military to make 3 shifts at the production so that they would be able to make more of this Kinsel missile. They were waiting for it for a very long time. The production came out. They have the missile, and now they're able to use this Kinsel missile. What Putin did, he said, use it against NATO in Ukraine. Yes, in NATO in Ukraine. As a result, according to that source, a lot of top NATO officials were killed, including Zelensky's high-ranking officers, military officers. And now NATO is trying to leave the country once and for all. When I say trying, I basically mean they're trying to convince US and Germany and the European countries that, look guys, this war is over. Putin is using a missile we do not have any answer for. This Kinsel missile, they're so destructive, no radar in the world, including US, can detect them. Means if Russia, if Putin is using that missile anywhere to target anybody, nobody will know that missile is coming their way, and it's going to destroy them completely. And this is exactly what happened in Ukraine a few days ago. They were shocked. What happened to us? NATO is so scared of Russia, they know it is over. They know they can never win in Ukraine. They know it's over. They're now, as I said, trying to convince the government, pack up and leave. Zelensky, you will wake up one day and you will hear he's dead. I mean, this is how evil war is, but what you can do? I mean, we do not want anybody to die, but you get the point. This is how evil war is. But the point here is that Putin does have those Kinsel missile at his disposal. And now US chief, they're warning that Putin is also increasing his arsenal. Means he is in war. He's ready for war against Europe. If you think you are in Europe and you're safe, think again. Well, I mean, telling you, think again. You're sitting in Europe, you think you're safe, think again. That guy has increased his production for the weapon, for nuclear weapon. The unclassified 35-page intelligence assessment adds that Moscow will become more dependent on nuclear weapons following significant battlefield losses and punishing rounds of sanctions that have crippled the Kremlin's ability to finance its war mission. I don't quite agree with that. This is not true. Well, you have to see where this news is coming from. CNBC, of course, they're going to be pro US, pro Europe, and anti Putin, and they will not report what is happening. They will not report what is true. And I don't agree that Putin is getting punished by these sanctions. How? Ruble, Russian currency, is doing much better now. What are you talking about, man? I don't know where it's getting from. CNBC.com. Oh, you can cross-check all the facts I'm telling you today with multiple sources. You will see Putin's ruble, Russian ruble, is dominating, and it is, to me, looks like the third most powerful currency right now after dollar, yuan, and these two countries, and then the third is ruble. Quote, heavy losses to its ground forces, the large-scale expenditures of precision-guided munitions during the conflict have degraded Moscow's ground and air-based conventional capabilities and increased its reliance on nuclear weapons, the intelligence community wrote. All nonsense, trash, garbage. Really, garbage. We don't see it coming from Putin. These people are just crazy. I don't know who they are trying to please by running this porkies. Putin, whose country boasts the largest arsenal of nuclear weapons in the world, has previously rattled the nuclear saber, on the heels of Ukrainian advances on the battlefields. Yes, this is true. He said many times, I'm going to be using nuclear weapon if I have to. And he said that day one. He made it absolutely clear that the world should not go to a peaceful sleep at night. Nobody should be sleeping in peace at night, because if we are not feeling safe, nobody would. Last month, Putin upped the ante by announcing he would suspend participation in the News Start Treaty. Okay, a News Start Treaty, a crucial nuclear arms reduction agreement. The agreement is the sole arms control treaty in place between Washington and Moscow following former President Donald Trump's withdrawal from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces, or INF Treaty. Secretary of State Antony Blinken called Putin's decision, quote, deeply unfortunate, end quote, and said the Biden administration remains ready to negotiate, quote, at any time with Russia. It is irrespective of anything else going on in the world. Yeah, after we make money, because remember, the military industrial complex, they're making billions of dollars in the States, you know. So after they make like billions of dollars, this military industrial complex, and a lot of the, I should say, governmental officials, then they will call it a day and be like, yeah, we're ready to negotiate, make a treaty. I mean, really, you really wanted to negotiate a peace deal? If you did want, then you would not be supplying weapon to Ukraine and make these guys rich. But this is what US did. They made these people rich, and now they're saying we are ready for a peace deal. Putin is not going to be interested at all. I mean, these are all this drama. What's more, Arvil Haines, director of national intelligence, told lawmakers on Wednesday that Russia's military is unlikely to make, quote, major territorial gains, end quote, this year, which could present an opportunity for additional nuclear threats. I mean, I don't think there is going to be any excuse that Putin would need to use nuclear weapon, because he already made up his mind that he's going to be using tactical nuclear weapon in Ukraine. This is a done deal. This is a done deal, because he cannot continue this war for too long, because this is not good. His military, last month they lost 20,000 Russian army in Ukraine. So Russia cannot forever fight this war, and the West is never going to stop supplying weapon. So what they do, let's use a tactical nuclear weapon and destroy Ukraine, make them surrender to us, and then get over with it. That's what every country does. Take a look at the Second World War. What US did to Japan in order to make them surrender. Did they tell them, oh, we're going to fight with you for as long as it takes? No. US said, we're going to drop a bomb on you. And Japan, the next thing you know, we are sorry, surrender. I'm sorry, we should not have ever fought you guys. You guys are too powerful. Oh, sorry. But that was too late. Two cities were destroyed. But this is the nature of war. Because when you have a disease in your body, you use what they call antibiotic. You don't take pill forever. The doctors will give you antibiotic injection or some strong pill to make that virus bacteria go away completely. And so Russia at one point had to use nukes, tactical nuclear weapon, whatever you call it. They have to, because they cannot afford to lose this many soldiers every month or even yearly. This is crazy. People will die and there will be no people in Russia one day. So yeah, things are looking very bad. Nuclear war is coming, guys, and I want you to give you all the updates. Again, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. This is my neighborhood. Beautiful day. The sun is shining one more time, and I'm so glad it is, because the last week we had a lot of rain and very gloomy, boring, depressing weather. Subhanallah. I mean, we shouldn't complain about this, but I mean, people are really getting fed up with this. Thank you so much again for joining. I'll see you in the next video.